Welcome Dark Souls fans, this is our review today, and we will continue our journey through the undead settlement. Today I also have another player with me who decided to help me out doing these recordings. I will be journeying now on my way to get the Mount Maker's Covenant, which is a very easily missed covenant. And I mean, you can get it at some other point, but you could miss it if you do not recruit one of the NPCs at the right time. So let's just go straight forward and show you how to get there. Remember that down there in this floor there's 3 of these enemies. If you have a shield, do use it under normal circumstances. You can skip the Evangelist and all those hollows because we're gonna head right from here. There's this bridge. There will be some 2 hollows that will show up pretty soon. They can throw fire bombs if you're not careful. If you get close, they just slash you though. So before we actually head to the Mount Maker's Covenant, we're gonna head through this path. There are 2, 3, or 4 hollows, I believe, and a couple of items. Getting souls is always good because that's a reserve you can use later on. Once you kill this hollow over here, you open this door. This is the reason we're going through here, just to have this path cleared. And eventually we will be going through that side you see over there, but right now it's not the right time to do so. So once you open that door, you head back, and we will be taking a closer path. He killed a monster over there, he saw. Okay, so now you turn right from the door we went in, and you can throw arrows at those enemies on the roofs and kill them from far away, or you could just semi-rush it, but have the shield on for sure because they're sneaky. And one of them, you know, there's an item on the floor, as you can see. One of them jumped right from the left side, and the other ones can get down from the roof. So once you take care of those enemies, just adventure around, verifying the roofs if there's any other items. Over here we got some fire bombs. It's very important to try to collect as many items as possible. They are very helpful. Alright, this is the plank shield.
Another Nana disappeared. The Granton carries a cage. He ever has his cage. And Nana's never coming back. So come into the cage and become Nana's shade.
So this monster which you can kill is the only monster that will talk to you, which is that of that kind, which is like the cage with a lot of hollows inside. He gives you a hint of what you have to do. Alright. Walk over here, get that item. Be careful not to fall from the ledge. And once you're here, you can see that enemy walking around, which we have seen him a few times. He will not attack you unless you attack him, at least for now. As you can see, I'm getting close to him. He doesn't care. I tried getting in before I continue. Okay, this item is a little difficult to get. You can try to hit it. Sometimes it does stay on the ledge, but sometimes it falls. But we can get it later on from the floor it fell, and we can shoot up and it will fall. So right now I'm gonna go and get my dark crystal and send Phantom home because it's not allowing me to take the cutscene. So once you, if you're alone and you're in this area, you just press X behind the cage. You will go down, and as you can see in the cinematic, you get into it, and it will throw you at a different map, which is where it will take you to the to be able to get the Mount Maker's Covenant. So we're in the Pit of Hollows. This is an area we will see soon enough once more. But this is the first time, this is the way to get here the first time. And we will meet the Sunless Knight. He's right at the end, close to that pillar of skulls. There's an item there to the right. I just wanted to show you a little of the background so you can see. Alright, we got a shield, and then we'll talk to him.
Well, what's up? This pit is for hollows, not for the likes of you sane folk. Or perhaps you are a hollow, posing as otherwise? Oh, yes, yes, then we are just fine. It's important to know who you are, but we'll all be mad soon enough. And should you be undead, well, all the more so. Beware, the shackles of the gods are fragile. You might need this. Etch it on your heart if you feel your sanity slipping. Come here to pile up your victims, for that will form your anchor. You'll see when you go mad. They'll be your family. You'll go mad one day, but not today. Take my advice. Use this bone and leave this place. This pit is for hollows, and for the occasional madman fond of piling up victims. You've better things to do, I'd hope.
So once he gives you the homeward bone, there's nothing else you can pretty much do. So we'll go right ahead and use it. You can choose between the last bonfire or the Firelink Shrine, whichever you want to do. In this case, I headed straight to the last bonfire since I don't have anything else to do right now at the Firelink Shrine. So I'm gonna summon again my buddy over here. So we're here back again in this area. This time we're gonna kill all the hollows in the area and the evangelist. And we will be taking a couple of items, which we didn't have the opportunity last time, because I was focused on following the Grey Rat's quest line and getting Loretta's bones. One of the tactics to kill the evangelist is to hold your shield up and try to move to her back whenever you have the chance to backstab her. And yes, they are female. They are tricky though. They can apply on you bleed effect, and they hit very hard though. So do be careful with the evangelist each time you see one. So over here we got worker's glove. Here's an Estes shard, which we will later on apply on the blacksmith. You don't need to rush it to the blacksmith at this point. Once you get all the items in this area and clear some of the area, because especially if you are with a phantom, it is most likely you will get invaded by someone. And once you're invaded, sometimes you do not want to have too many enemies around, because the invaders can use that to their advantage. In this case, I came back a moment because I saw something. Alright, Titanite shard. Alright, so you will follow the left path after the evangelist. You will pick up this item over here, and then you move back, and in this close by where all the bodies are, there's this hole, and you want to drop there. There's two items. There's the Warrior of Sunlight, which is a covenant. Actually, it allows you to be Jello Phantom when you visit, and you gain Warriors of Sunlight coins. Alright, do remember to take down this item. I mean, it's nothing special, but it's still souls, and it's very easy to miss. I'm pretty sure I missed it once or twice on my first playthroughs on my own. Alright, so you get back here, and there are two of these little guys, which are very annoying. You can wait till you're downstairs to actually kill them, but sometimes they surprise attack you. And also, I think there's a ring at one of the new game pluses over here. So right now there's none, but I'm pretty sure there's a ring in another new game plus. So I won't drop right now because there's some monsters I don't want to miss. So I'm turning back, and I'm gonna go through that door. As you can see, I have a blue spirit summoning, and that usually means I have an invader. Usually, I do not have trouble killing those cage monsters. However, I'm not a super duper curve sword user, and it was a little tricky to get the hang of it with this weapon. I have used it in the past for PvP, but I never used it for PvE, so eventually I'm considering changing the weapon. However, I'm looking for something I'm used to. My main accounts usually use Onikiri and Ubadashi, which is my favorite weapon. But you do not get that till you're in Lockwood Castle, so in this playthrough I won't have it anytime soon, and I do not want to cheat my way by getting somebody to give me it. That's not the point of a playthrough. The idea is for you to be able to get all the items and with what you have finished. So they are attacking an evangelist on the top part of the bridge. The Blue Sentinel's doing a good job with that, so I'm just verifying over here if there's a path. Alright, there is one, and there's an item there. Titanite shard. At first you're like, Titanite shard, but Titanite shards are lifesavers. They upgrade weapons, and you do not get that many from enemies around the maps until later on in the game where enemies start popping them up like candy. But at this point in the game, any Titanite shard you get, it's very good. Alright, so I'm gonna heal now. because I do have an invader which has not appeared yet. Alright, and we have the NPC that we met as a mount maker appear here. Right now, since there's 3 of us, it was easy, but do take in mind that he heals up and he uses, I think, around 6 Estises, and he has a spell called Warmth, which he can use to his favor. So on this bonfire, usually this is where everybody picks you up to get to the next boss. There will be a shortcut. Up there, there's a lizard. You can get close to the house. There's a way to get it. Maybe I'll get it later, but not right now. It's not fun of people to just get a lizard. But usually those lizards give you crystals or shards to upgrade items. So it's a pretty good idea to get them. But I do not want to delay with this guy's over here and an invader around. If you have a blue spirit, there is a red invader somewhere. Keep that in mind. Okay, so the young white branch. This is the reason why I started the game with that item, which I evaded telling you guys. As you can see, there's some javelins falling around from the sky, which is from the tower. There's a giant, which we will meet later. If you didn't pick up the young white branch, you are going to get hit by those javelins he's throwing. But right now, since I have it, it won't have any effect on me. Alright? That's very important to keep in mind, because if you do not have the white young branch at the beginning, you will get hit, and it can one hit you or two hit you. Be careful when you get the cleric's armor. There's that little guy over there. Okay, and here's the Mortician ashes. If I'm not wrong, those are the first ashes you give to the old lady on the Firelink Shrine, and it will expand her item list with new useful items. Okay, so we're gonna go down there before going to that house. Be careful, you have to run and jump. Be careful not to fall, because if you fall, you of course die. But instead of trying to jump back off, just go up here. And you don't, I mean, you can jump, but as you can see, you really don't have to jump. But it's the safest way to get back. And now we can get inside the house, where I think, yeah, they killed the enemy. But in here there are also 2 enemies, besides all the enemies we had out there. That's why this isn't a tricky area. Oh, also remember there's a scythe here. Okay. So now we're gonna run. I guess the invader didn't want to show up. I'm gonna use the right finger to try to get another phantom, but when I did this, I completely forgot I had the password on. So remember, if you have a friend and you want to add people, you have to go to your menu and change the password to no password, because if not, no other phantoms will appear. Okay, and also once you have a blue spirit, once you get in, you lose the blue spirit, you cannot help in battle. Over here, I'm giving fast forward to this area, part of the battle, because I ended up dying. Almost when, I think it was almost here, right? No, it wasn't. So I tried again. I called my friend again, and I summoned this time 2 more phantoms to get the job done. Alright, Alright, so first things first, you're gonna have to attack some of the monsters here. The closer you get, the faster it will get activated the battle. As you can see, his HP bar way up here. He will start moving slowly first, so it gives you time to move around. One of the main issues is over here at the beginning of the battle is you have hollows following you. Hopefully you can catch up. And try to attack fast and do not let your stamina run out fast, because you won't be able to block, and blocking is essential at this starting point, especially if you don't know what you're doing. The monster can one hit you if you have lower than half HP, or even at half HP. Swing the move just let you can kill you. So it's a good idea to have your shield up. Once you're there, he will spawn up on the arm, go to the egg sack, between his legs. This is very funny monster. So once more, there's eggs on his left hand. Has one egg which you can hit. And there's another one on his back. And of course you have the hand also without HP. You saw that swing, you saw all that chunk of HP, that's what I'm talking about. That's why you should maintain as much as possible your HP up. Goodbye and just a joyful jump. We got two items. We got the soul of the monster. We got a sunlight medal because we were with a warrior of sunlight, and we got the kiln, which we will be giving to the Lord of Cinder, which is in the Firelink Shrine. Okay. So once that's done, walk through to where you saw Hotwick, and there's gonna be a bonfire this time. Okay. Once over here, you have a vertebra shackle, but you should collect before giving donations to the covenants of the items they require. I always say to at least get 10 so you can get the first item. And once you reach 30 accumulated, you get the second item. So always hold them at first, just so you have a nice count, a visual count of how many you have. Because sometimes you get a little desperate, like when you give in covenant items to the covenant, and then you're like, oh, how many I missed, how many are left, and you lose count, and then you get desperate because you just want to get over with it. Alright, so remember, once you get, every time you need to come to the Firelink Shrine, just double check on Estus Flask if you can expand. Upgrade items, especially after a boss, if you are able to do so, because it will help you out on your journey.
You've come at a good time.
And remember, always talk to the NPCs.
It took some prowling, but I finally made a score. Go on, have a gander.
As you can see, Grey Rat is back, and he has new items on his arsenal. He will have fire arrows, which are something I use a lot. And he will have a new selection of items and weapons, which you can give it a shot. I do recommend eventually to collect everything, but do not spend that much all the time, because then you will have to be ultra farming for everything, especially leveling, which is something you actually need while you're playing this, and trying to progress. I mean, you can take the challenge of trying to of not carrying and just give it a shot and be skillful. But this playthrough is kind of to make your life easier.
Yet to give in, eh? Good. The firekeeper must be twitching with delight. But what do you really know about these Lords of Cinder, these supposed legends? Let's take Aldrich, for one. A right and proper cleric. Only he developed a habit of devouring men. He ate so many that he bloated like a drowned pig, then softened into sludge. So they stuck him in the Cathedral of the Deep, and they made him a Lord of Cinder, not for virtue, but for might. Such as a lord, I suppose. But here I ask, do we have a sodding chance? At the foot of Lothric Castle, an old path still runs below the tower in the undead settlement. It was used to transport sacrifices to the Cathedral of the Deep. You should see where it leads, if you've the stones for it. You haven't given up yet. Then you're a brasher less than I thought. You can make better use of this. I don't need it. Not now I've flown.
So usually when you kill a monster or do something, he usually gives you an item.
Of Farron is a caravan of undead, sworn by wolf's blood to contain the abyss. The Legion will bury a kingdom at the first sign of exposure. Joyous bunch, really. Gaining admission to the Legion is a matter of some ceremony. Inside their keep, snuffing out the flames of 3 altars opens the door to the wolf blood. Even accursed undead want to believe they're special, it seems. I pity the sorry souls. Gaining admission to the Legion is a matter.
So try always to burn out his dialogue, especially Hawkwood's. He always have a lot of info to give you. And as you can see, he gave us information on the...
My feet are here firmly planted.
On the Lords of Cinder, and gave us an item.
And this is my throne. Oh,
so you give him the transposing kiln?
A transposing kiln in thy possession. Seen better days, but methinks it shall suffice. Now, bring to me a twisted soul. Transposition is the art of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. In transposing a twisted soul, its true power transferreth to thee. Thy purpose is to seek lords and slay them. What's to fear in a little transposition now?
So you can skip the boss, but if you skip it, you won't be able to finally get to change the boss souls for their weapons. And usually most of the bosses have 2 options you can get per soul. My recommendation on this first playthrough, always buy the rings first. It will help you to unlock all the rings. And they are pretty useful, and you can play around depending on your build. That's my recommendation, though. You do not have to follow it 100%, but that's the way I did it, and this, I think, is the wisest way to get over with many of the items. And not all the boss souls give you rings, so those are kind of rare as well.
So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a Colossus. Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones of a reign.
So once you burn out the dialogue, if you do have the souls, you could talk to the firekeeper, or you can go to the old lady. In this
Ah,
case,
well
I
met,
remember I have to
Ashen
give
One.
her the Mortisian
How may I be?
ashes.
Gracious, passing fine ash thou'st given. Let this ash bestow nourishment. I only hope these new wares content thee.
So usually she has either new weapons or new items added. Just a little expansion of it, but mostly what you get here are buffs, resins. I'm gonna buy this grave key because we're gonna use it
Ashen
soon.
One, be sure to
But
bring
usually
more
you get a lot
souls.
of resins, and eventually there are ashes that gives you upgrading
Welcome home,
items.
Ashen One. Speak thine
I
heart's
only bought
desire.
that because since we're going to the next area, I want to level up.
Very well, then take nourishment.
Do kindly remember that each time you level up, try to maintain the build according to what you want. I do not recommend you to be spreading your points everywhere because then you will be weak against everything. So be sure to
Farewell,
keep
Ashen
that in
One.
mind. Remember to raise up your vitality to be able to carry as much items as possible. We can check here
Speak
with
thy
Yulia
desire.
if she has anything to say.
That a lord art thou not? Bearer of the dark sigil, and our Lord of Hollows. For the time thou remainst our Lord, we of Londor shall serve thee. And I, of course, am also thine. Till we meet again.
So anyways, that's pretty much it for right now. I'm gonna be recording a new video right after this, so we will have I think 2 more videos of the playthrough, one beside the other.